I know I was on earlier, but I was speaking to my dad and came up with something very interesting, like an idea. Um, I was talking to him about this whole Epstein thing, and what got me thinking about the Epstein thing is like they said they were ruling it as suicide, but like I still believe that that a hitman was hired. Now, this is all speculation because I can't prove that there was a hitman hired, but speculation wise, let's say people who are like a hitman in an Epstein type of murder, um, because this what it is a murder. But I don't have a problem with what happened to Epstein if he was murdered. My issue is the person who was paid to murder Epstein. This is all speculatory. I guess you would say conspiracy theory type of talk. Is if he was murdered by somebody and somebody got paid to murder Epstein, um, the issue with Epstein being murdered is a moral issue, a moral foundational issue that you're murdering somebody who was a pedophile child molester. I don't have an issue with him being murdered in that sense. My issue, morally speaking, is you took the money, hypothetically speaking, you took the money, if this is the case, you took the money to murder somebody. And the issue with him being murdered is you picked you picked the money over morals. The morals of, you know, pedophiles being child molesting pedophiles being brought to justice. This is the problem. If I was in um, that situation, morally speaking, if I was in that situation, then I would have to turn it down. And I know there's a lot of people who would be calling it bullshit that that for me to turn it down, the money, speaking morally wise, to say they would say that I was full of shit, that if I didn't take the money, that I would be full of shit. And I can understand that. I get it. I do like having money, but on moral principles, I couldn't take that money knowingly that children 14, possibly younger, are being molested. That is my top thing. Not There's not a lot of things that bother me. But when you're talking about children or babies or children being molested, that's that's the one thing. I mean, you can make. I guess you can make a joke here and there about that type of a thing, but if we're talking serious, the reason why I'm a little jittery is I had some coffee and I've been drinking some water, but I need more. I mean, I drink some coffee and I drink some water, but I need to drink some more water. This is why I'm jittery. I always get a little jittery drinking too much coffee. But a principle alone, I'm trying to get back on track, focus. A principle alone, the well being of children is what matters. And if somebody was to even offer me millions or billions of dollars, that would still not be more important than to secure the safety for children. I still personally believe that children, like people messing with children, my personal view on this is that if you are messing with children, that should be the death sentence. Like up to a certain age, say like 16, 17, 18, when, you know, the legal state decides that they're ready to be able to have a relationship with their parents' consent. Um, I know 16, 17 is a bit young, 18, but some states, you know, it's a little younger. Okay, I get that. I understand that. They're a teenager. They got the parents' consent. They're allowed to date this person that's around the same age, you know, whatever. That's a completely, you know, borderline narrative there. But when you start going, you know, that could be, I would consider like prison jail, prison time. But when you start getting into younger ages for kids, and you're talking about people who are messing with kids that are younger than that age range, then yeah, I think, you know, it's the court's job to sentence those people to death. I think that's where the death penalty is necessary to take care of people who are, I'm not even sure what to call these people. These people are a menace. These, why I say that they are a menace is those people are, they're 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 doing stuff to kids that they should not be doing. They knowingly doing things to kids. They know morally it is ir it's irredeemable and incomprehensive, and it is just, there is something that is just morally wrong. It is just morally wrong to be okay with people that do those types of things to children. That's the one type of thing that disgusts me to no end. And and when you talk about people, and I'm not anti, I'm not, my whole issue with the Muslims thing is I'm not anti-Muslim or Islam per se. I'm more anti, you know, them marrying children. It's just disgusting. I, you know, you're not you're not as peaceful in your religion as you claim your religion is if you're saying that your religion allows you to marry a 9-year-old. That's just disgusting. That's morally disgusting. It's a disgusting and in the jittering from the coffee. It's a morally disgusting you know what the word I'm trying to say is the despicable. Um, is very despicable. Um, if you're taking the money to off somebody and you're looking at it as a big paycheck, the problem with murdering Epstein, my point would be being is that you're letting a lot of other pedophiles that would have paid for what they did. They would have paid, you know, like the point of, you know, somebody paying for their crime is that they're paying for what they did, you know, being in rich prison, you know, they're still paying for what they did as being wrong. Those people have to pay. Those people who are rich pedophiles, child molesting pedophiles, should pay for what they did to those children. And I mean, you can't tell me that in those circumstances that, you know, and I can't prove for a fact, but I mean, you can't tell me under any circumstances, and, you know, change my mind that Bill Clinton didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, he fucking wrote the Pedophile Express, the Alita Pedophile Child Molesting Express, 27 times, and they found a painting of him in a Monica Lewinsky dress with red heels in Epstein's place. And you're telling me not one of those times he did not do anything with those young girls? I mean, while he was president, he said that he did not do um, anything with Monica Lewinsky. Hmm. I'm having a really hard time believing that. Said I did not have sexual relations with that woman or whatever the hell it was he said. Come on. Um, you know, as you can tell, I have kids. I mean, even if I didn't have kids, I would still be, the way I am towards that issue is it's disgusting. Okay. Now I'm looking at my notes because I wrote some things down that I really wanted to go over that I was thinking about. The Borderlands 3 game. I mean, I watched an advertisement on one of the YouTube videos to do with Borderlands 3. I gave it a fair shot as to what I was looking at this advertisement. I mean, the graphics did look good. The running around shooting things looks good. I mean, it looks like there's some different, like some different types of powers and stuff in it. But it doesn't look like anything new. Like, with the game, like if you take, for instance, the game Cyberpunk. What? Cyberpunk, they're pushing forward new ideas and new ways to make the game interesting. In, like, for instance, all the music in the game, they were saying, is all originally made music. Like, it's no music that you've heard before. What? What TV?
TV over.
I thought you were playing a game on it.
I wanted to make something. But Mama's
Did you eat? Is your room clean? Well, you better go help your mama get it done. Yeah, well, his room is next. See this? Shameful. Shameful. Yeah, but I mean, other than, Cyberpunk, it has original music songs that they put in the game. It's going to be where they said you could go into every building that's in the game, which is pretty amazing. Also, this was one of the things that I was excited about because I had no idea when at the E3, like whenever they had shown Keanu Reeves, and everyone, flipped and lost their shit. I mean, I was even taken back. I was fucking crazy. Nobody expected that. I mean, they're also putting extra, like, all the content is going to be in the game. They're putting, like, I think they said stickers and patches in it. And all the content that normal, like, all these big companies take out of the game, as in, like, downloadable stuff that you have to paywall behind paywalls and all this other nonsense. There's so much that's the creator of the game. He's helped with making that game. He's helped the developers. There's like different types of like upgradable weapons, and you can make male or female. You can change different things about the character. You can have relationships. You can have with people. You can have one-night stands. There's just so much different varieties of things you can do in this game. The gameplay wise, you can make different choices and decisions. There's all different types of gangs in the game. There's like gangs, like different types of gangs in different areas. There's so much. There's so much in that game. It's It's pushing the envelope of what games should be. It's unbelievable. Like the same people who made The Witcher, who made the Witcher games, who came out with the expansion for the Witcher 3 game. And the graphics just look amazing. I didn't even talk about that.
I don't think I'll be going to the store tomorrow because Mom is doing it.
Well, you know,
So it might take half an hour or so to do that.
okay, well, just look through it and see what you want to keep and don't keep. You know how to do it. I already
Don't
explained it.
just magically throw the ones I want across the room.
No, just ask her where she wants you to put them.
She's doing laundry.
She's right there.
She's doing laundry.
Dude, she's right there.
Yes, but she's working on the laundry.
Your mama's right there.
She's working.
Bye. Bye.
She wants to she wants the kitchen.
Out. Your mama's right there. You can ask her.
She went to the kitchen.
Out.
I tried to ask her. She's gonna say no.
No, you go ask her.
I did.
Go ask her again.
No,
I guess you don't want to go to the store tomorrow.
no, I don't care about the store more.
Oh, really?
No, I don't want. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I just want to finish my homework. You won't help.
Well, that's because she's cooking dinner.
Ugh.
Go in there and do your best you can until your mama's done. I'm telling you, you gotta lock them in the cage early and young. Just, you trying to get back on point? If I could finish my thoughts, no more interruptions. Okay, so talked about the Epstein, the whole thing to do with Epstein. Like, if you're a hitman, it's morally irreprehensible to murder somebody that could have got a lot of people locked away, hypothetically, for child molestation parties. You know what you did was wrong and disgusting. I mean, really. I know it's a lot of money, but these are your children, other people's children, that are being molested. And you let money over morality-wise speaking. You let the money tell you that it's okay to let child molesters get away with molesting kids. I mean, just think about that. Like, these children are being molested, and somebody picked the morals of money over, you know, children's safety. It's just disgusting. I mean, I don't know. I'm not even sure what else to say about that. It's just, okay. Oh yeah, Borderlands. Borderlands, it looks nice. It looks pretty. It's like the God of War game, for example. A lot of people like loves about God of War, and then doing the same thing with like Borderlands 3. Like, the reason why I give so much people crap about the God of War is it's really overhyped. The older games, you had several different bosses in the games. No, I told you, out.
Mama doesn't want me. She said she's gonna throw away what she thinks she wants to throw away. She don't want to let me do it.
Just go in there and do it. It's your room, your
She told
things.
me not to.
Well, then go in there and play on the game. Go do something.
Won't let me.
Dude, you are distracting me from the thoughts I'm trying to have to finish. Go.
She won't let me.
Well,
That's
then,
the way what she thinks, not what I think.
then, dude, go ask her what she needs you to help with.
She don't want me to help with. She wants to do it all by herself. She's gonna throw you what she thinks, what she wants.
Tell her, just go tell her I told you that you're supposed to be deciding what you want thrown away. It's your room, your things. Your room, your things. It's ridiculous, dude. I'm trying to focus. Do not come back in here. Unless you want me to lock you in your cage. As I was saying, that's just disgusting. If you're going to scam your friends and family saying you're having a baby, that's morally disgusting as well. You should be ashamed of yourself. I told you don't come back in here. No.
She don't want to want me to do anything. I don't care what you said.
It's your room. I told you to go in there and pick out things that you want thrown away. Your room. Tell your mama I said no. No, I told you to go in there. It's your room. I told you go. I don't care. I told you to go. It's your room. It's your room. Don't come back in here. I'll make you go to bed at 8. Unless it's already 8. Nope. You have 2 hours. You come back in here. You have 2 hours before you go to bed. It's shameful. Won't listen. I'm telling you. Children will not listen. Anyway, if I cannot be disturbed, thank you. You would think people could figure out their own problems. Disgusting. The Borderlands 3. I'm trying to finish my thoughts. I will try to hurry. But this is my whole reasoning for being the way I am thinking of Borderlands 3 is just like God of War. The older God of War games, there's more bosses you could fight, like mythological bosses. There was a lot of brutality, different ways that he would take enemies out. It was interesting. This new God of War, yeah, it looked pretty. Oh, okay, wow. It looked and sounded pretty. Ooh. The story was not that good. It was, I guess you could say it was okay. But gameplay-wise, it was a mess. Just was. So was same way. I am going to make a guess here that the gameplay is fine, but I am going to make a guess that this Borderlands 3 game, I'll eat my words if it's not, but my guess is that it's not going to be that good. But what I think is like the gameplay will be fine, but I don't think it will be good. I don't think it will hold enough attention to play for very long. Like, you'll play through the game, but I don't think it will have a lot of replay value after a few times. That's my prediction. That's what I'm predicting. I'm not saying that's necessarily what will happen, but that's what my prediction is. Yeah, that's the main reason why I'm not buying it. Is, well, that's one of them, but the other one is that Randy, he's a jerk to some of his employees. Is like a bully, and also not just because of that. I mean, like, not, he goes beyond being a bully, you know. But it's that's one of the other reasons. On top of, you know, the company itself, I just no, just disgusting, just down disgusting. I will end my video and have a good evening. And I'll talk to you all later on when I well, I'll probably make another one when I come up with some other things I would like to discuss. I find the moral argument of the hitman who took out Epstein is interesting, to say the least. That would be a good thing to focus on, because you know somebody got paid. You know somebody got paid to off Epstein. That's a good question right there. your morality of offing somebody that you willingly knew you were going to off for money. And all these rich pedophiles got away with it. All of them. All these rich child molesting pedophiles got away with it. Disgusting. Like, you could say pedophile, but the difference with pedophile and child molester is the child molester actually went through it. The pedophile is the one that has the attraction to children, whereas the pedophile can be attracted to children, but would never have acted on their intentions. Whereas the person who actually went and did that thing is the difference between the child molester and the pedophile. But protecting all these pedophile child molesters is disgusting. But yeah, like I said, have a good evening, and I will see y'all later. Goodbye.